This is Mike Franklin, the property tax guy, and we're going to talk about the assessor for the city of Syracuse and the Board of Assessment Review. Some issues that we had with some cases we had there. I'm going to play a clip of what transpired where the assessor for the city of Syracuse admitted that they had not read an appraisal for one of the cases. In order to the Board of Assessment Review review the appraisal that cost my client $2,500, and they subsequently provided no adjustment to the assessment, which should have been. It involved about $30,000 is what it cost my client through their negligence. And not only that, it had been discussed during the bar hearing. The appraisal was discussed, and during the hearing, nobody at the bar had a copy of my petition, and so they didn't have a copy of the appraisal, and neither did the assessor. Nobody had reviewed it ahead of time, and nobody reviewed it after the fact. And so I'm going to play a clip that where the assessor admits that that he admitted that negligence. Anyway, so basically you have one sale, and that's the Golden Corral. And my guess is that the value in the Golden Corral was a lot of it had to do with the business, not so much the the building itself. But I was rather upset about what transpired last year, frankly. I had an appraisal by a New York State certified New York State commercial real estate appraiser, who's actually been to the property, and nobody here, I don't think, has been to the property in 5 or 6 years. And I
was there when it was up and running. I can tell you that.
And we're welcome to have anybody come in the building that they want.
All right.
But I want to say a professional appraisal report is, in and of itself, sufficient to overcome any presumption regarding the validity of the assessment. Eckerd Corp versus Seaman. I just don't know why you guys would ignore. Are you suggesting that the assessment was fraudulent? If you think the appraisal is fraudulent, you should file a complaint with the New York State Department of State Licensing Services.
Okay. No, you have reason to feel slighted last year. Circumstances with our office situation led to our receiving an appraisal and nobody laying eyes on it, which is not an acceptable circumstance, and nobody's going to. Yeah.
Yeah. So he indicates that it's not an acceptable circumstance. But what are they going to do for my client? It cost him $30,000. So he admitted that they made a mistake. Later on he talked about a flood and all these things, but he was in the hearing with the Board of Assessment Review when the appraisal was talked about, and they did nothing. So it's got nothing to do with floods or anything like that. It has to do with them simply not doing the job. And the Board of Assessment Review, they didn't do it either. So he admits that I had reason to feel slighted, and he kind of shrugs his shoulders. Well, we made a mistake. But when you lose $30,000, people don't usually just shrug their shoulders, And but yeah, we made a mistake, he says. So we'll go on to the later on, after having admitted that he made a mistake, then he decides to threaten me. Listen to this.
That's their informal hearing.
Let's do this.
Because
these people didn't give me the time of day.
Formal hearing set
That's
up.
what it's all about.
Because
these people didn't give me the time of day from day one, and so.
Mike, I resent that. Nope, you're through. Correct. We did give you the time of day. You stole so much time from professionals in my office. It is flat out unacceptable. We pissed away so much time on the telephone with you last year, this past year, and this month. You have stolen the time of every attorney on this floor. And you're very fortunate that everybody around here has the kindly disposition and has taken it so well.
Yeah, that everybody around here has a kindly disposition and has taken it so well. So he says, nope, you're done, he says. Pretty unprofessional. And he's indicating that that I basically harassed their legal department. Well, it was my job to do so. They screwed my client over for the tune of $30,000, and I was trying to get the situation rectified. So the original question was that the board member asked me was, that did we have a review with the assessor? I forget what the term was he used for it, but I told him that they hadn't given me the time of day. So right up through that point, throughout the hearing, I asked for data. They don't give it to me, and they literally hadn't given me the time of day. And then the decision was rendered that there was no change. And well, that's when they started giving me the time of day, because I'm foiling records, I'm making allegations to their legal department, and so on and so forth. So yes, they did not give me the time of day, the time that they did spend on me was trying to rectify the error of the negligence of the assessor. So there he is. He says that I'm lucky that they are so kindly. He's threatening me with the city's legal department, well, let me put it this way: my knees are not shaking. Anyway, the assessor just, he didn't do his job, and then it goes to the legal department because he didn't do his job, and he's upset about that. This is Mike Franklin, the property tax guy.